You're listening to Autumn on the Air, the weekly podcast that brings you conversations about the impact of research commercialization and the people who make it happen. Join us for interviews with patent and licensing professionals, innovators, entrepreneurs, and tech transfer leaders on the issues and trends that matter most. Keep listening for an inside track on the people, IP policies, and politics changing our world.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Autumn on the Air. In honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, we are proud to present a series that spotlights Hispanic entrepreneurs and innovators who are making remarkable strides in their respective fields. Today, we're joined by Byron Rojas, a graduate of Escuela Superior Politécnica del Litoral, a public university in Ecuador, with a background in electronic engineering. Byron has pioneered cutting-edge innovations in data transmission, cellular network infrastructure, and smart metering technology. He is the founder of Easymetering, a company that is reshaping the energy sector. Welcome, Byron. I'm so excited to have you here on the air.
Hey, Lisa. Thank you for having me here.
Well, Byron, you have had an amazing journey, and I'm very excited to have you on the podcast today. And we have a lot to talk about. So let's go ahead and get started. And I think, Byron, one of the things that I think is so interesting to me is your journey from graduating as an electronic engineer to then becoming the founder of Easymetering SA and Easymetering LLC. Can you tell us what inspired you to start your own ventures in the field of data transmission and telecommunications?
Thank you for the question. I think that the journey is very important in the life of entrepreneur, and I would like to say that I am from Ecuador. I have more than 25 years of professional experience. I have a technical background, telecom, firmware, computer science, network transmission, and especially in cellular technology. And one event occurred in Ecuador in the 90s is that we had the first generation of cellular digital data network technology. It is a very great event that was part of my inspiration to become an innovator in the cellular space. I consider myself not only a creative person, but also a passionate. In my first 4 years, as an employee, and the rest of my life, I have been working on my ventures. In 1969, when I made my investigation work in order to get my degree, I developed the following topic: how to transmit data using cellular network. It is very interesting because in those days, cellular services were offered only to make calls and send little messages. Was not available for sending data packets. But this is interesting because Ecuador was an early adopter of this kind of technology. And why? In 90s, Belsao was a mobile network operator, and Belsao was an American company, but it was an operator in Ecuador. And this company has deployed the first version of this cellular digital network for packet data transmission. And in Ecuador, another startup company was created to provide add value services to different industries like banks, credit card, utilities, home security system, and other applications using the cellular data from Belsao. It is an interesting story because I was in my graduating age and I was selected for this company to work. And it is a remarkable milestone in my life because I had a fast evolution, and I was promoted in my third year to become an international business development manager because this company, this startup company, was expanded for other countries in Latin America. And it is amazing because we had a very good integration to different devices, like automatic teller machine, for example, using cellular data network. And Ericsson, like all integration that we were doing in those days, and Ericsson invited this startup company to participate in promoting and selling this novel cellular data infrastructure to other mobile network operators in Latin America countries. It is an amazing and valuable opportunity that I had because I have opportunity to sell infrastructure, not only products integrated to the cellular, but also to sell infrastructure, cellular infrastructure, the first generation of cellular data. It is an amazing opportunity that I had, and when I was visiting different countries, different customers, different industries, I detected my first opportunity in the credit card companies because they lost too much money because their terminals use in those days use telephone lines, wired telephone lines in 90s and 80s. You remember that.
Yeah.
And when rains come down, the telephone line was affected, and the connection of credit
connection.
Yeah, it was a very big problem for credit card companies and for business and for stores because they couldn't connect and make the complete of transactions and lose big money. And this is the reason why in 1999 I quit my job. And I started my own venture in order to attend this special opportunity in the credit card industry. I created a device that is possible to convert the telephone line signals to the new cellular digital data network in those days. It is amazing because...
That's a great story.
Yeah. But during my career, I created and provided different products and services for different industries. My most successful business is Easymetering. In fact, today, my current inspiration is to contribute to contribute with the new clean energy economy through the electric utilities business modernization. I think that is a very, very good. Very big challenge that I have because it's a very special sector in the economy. Electric utilities, they are a special sector. And Lisa, that electric utilities use power meters in order to read the energy consumed and they install power meters in houses and buildings and industries. This is the reason why, in my personal opinion, I consider that the power meter plays an important role, not only in the utility business, it's not only for utility, but also I think that is very important in the global energy economy, because it's the unique device used for selling and buying energy. It's the unique device used for this purpose, and it is very important to have to keep in mind because it is important element in the economy. In addition, I think that the current smart metering technology that the electric utilities are using around the world, not only here in the United States, around the world, this technology does not provide enough value to the economy. Smart meter technology provides more benefits for utilities and very low benefit for energy consumers. This is the reason why I founded Easymetering in Guayaquil, Ecuador in 2010. And recently, 2 years ago, during the pandemic situation, Easymetering landed in the United States. And I have my office, my headquarters right now, located in Boca Raton. at the research part at Florida Atlantic University. And my company is part of the Global Ventures Program. It is a Florida Atlantic University initiative created to receive interesting international tech companies with the potential to impact in the national and international economy. And I think that Easymetering is a very good example because we are trying to disrupt the utility economy in international market, not only in our country, in my country, but also in the United States and the rest of the world, if this is possible. And Easymetering is an easy-to-use, scalable, reliable software connectivity cloud solution to manage smart meters and grid devices using 4G, 5G cellular technology. And this solution is designed to support electric utilities and energy vendors of any size located anywhere of the world. In fact, we can attend utilities from Europe, and it is very simple, our business. For example, we can attend different utilities around the world because we sell meters, smart meters, to electric utilities, and they configure and they active the meters. And the meters use the cellular networks because we are connected around the world. And meters send the data through more than 400 mobile network operators around the world and send the data to the cloud, and utilities have access to our platform in order to manage and get energy information. It is that technology that we are providing right now. It is Easymetering.
That's just an incredible story. And so I'm thinking I was recently, earlier this year in March in South Africa, and you might be aware of some of the issues that they have in South Africa with utilities. And one of the things I experienced there was what they call load shedding. Where certain times a day, yes, there's no electricity because there's just simply problems with the utility. And it sounds like your company and your device is something that could help a utility or the utilities, such as in South Africa with a load shedding problem.
Yeah, it is a very complicated situation.
Very complicated.
For the world, not only for developed countries. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Byron, I wanted to switch gears a little bit. We're celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month now. And could you share with us how your Hispanic heritage has shaped your values? You obviously have a tremendous work ethic, as well as your approach to entrepreneurship.
Of course, I think that this is a very interesting question and involves a very high responsibility because, when you are talking about it is a culture question, and I think that definitely my values are based on my Hispanic heritage because we are essentially Catholic, and I am sure that my values come from my very good education when I was a child, where my mother's family played an important role in my life. Yeah, and I think that entire continent of America we have the same roots in terms of religion, beliefs. We are Christian, yeah, and I think that behind of this, I learned to be a honest person, and I think that honest and competence, they are connected. Yeah, I think that when you are honest, you are a competitive person, and I think that I am a competitive person too. My company represents a very good example to develop ethic in the world, in our work. It is very important because when you want to compete with big companies, I think that you need to have a very good values. It is the base in order to compete in the market. Another thing another thing talking about entrepreneurship, I think that the market freedom it is a very good topic because in Latin America countries, the market freedom is very low. The freedom because I mean that when you have a very good constitution, I think that the United States have a very good constitution because provide freedom or more freedom than other countries in order to make business. And I think that is very important because in our countries, entrepreneurs like me, we have to overcome too many barriers. And it's normal to see people trying to create business. And I think that the bad economic conditions in some countries, like in Latin America region, usually too many people feel obligated to try to create a business based on necessities, not on real opportunity. This is a problem because when you try to do business for necessities, it is very complicated to have success. It is a very complicated. But in fact, I think that in my case, I could to see a very good opportunity in the market, and it is the reason why I am creating this. I am trying to develop my company now.
So, Byron, I wanted to go back and talk a little bit more about your journey because it's such a fascinating story. And obviously, transitioning from an innovator to a successful entrepreneur, it often involves bringing your ideas to the marketplace. Can you share some insights into the commercialization process of your innovations?
Lisa, thank you for the question. I think that I would like to share my experience of commercialization in the United States because I think that it's very special moment that the United States is living. The electric vehicles, they are a very good motivation for grid transformation because the energy demand is increasing all the time, and the capability of the grid it need to increase too in the same time. Yeah, and another thing is that electrification is very important because we need to put clean energy in the grid. Yeah, and it is a very interesting thing that is happening. And how to do this modernization. And U.S. government in the United States has doing two things. The first, regulation. It is very important because it's necessary to have new rules in order to modernize the sector. And the second thing is that they are providing grants for modernize infrastructure of utilities. And in the first, utilities now, they can acquire cellular infrastructure for private use. It is very important because cellular is a great technology, proven technology. And of course, it is open technology. But what we are doing here in the United States, we buy meters from companies, big companies, smart meters. We install our technology inside of the meters because we create a smart device to connect the meter to the cloud. But we have a very great partnership with this kind of companies. And also we have very great partnership with companies like Nokia, Ericsson, and we are sharing with them some spaces in some alliance. We are part of a utility broadband alliance. This is a very good, interesting organization because we have two kinds of members in UBBA, and the first member is utilities. They are utilities, and the second member technology providers. And Easymetering is a technology provider member. I think that for commercialization purpose, it's very interesting to participate in this kind of alliance because we can share our acknowledgement, we can share our experience, because Easymetering has more than 15 years working with utilities and cellular and smart meters, and we can we can share, but not only we can share our experience, but also we learn more about utilities in America. And it is very important. And another thing that we are doing in commercialization terms, it is that we are promoting and participating of events, trade shows, very interesting trade shows in the industry. They are distributed, for example, another is UTC. UTC is utility telecom conference, and we are participating in the booths of our partners, showing our technology, how it works with working and running with 4G, 5G infrastructure. It is very important because we are trying to bring and offer a new generation of smart metering technology for electric utilities in the United States. It is it's amazing. And in terms of commercialization, marketing is very important, And in the first communication that we did is communicate to get the best partners in order to go together and go not alone, but also in company with another big companies that we are trying to transform this sector to. It is amazing because Easymetering is a foreigner company, but we have a very nice experience, and we have a very great solution for utilities, and we have a very great partners in the industry, and we believe that we can contribute with this modernization that the world needs.
So, Byron, I wanted to continue on about your personal journey and ask you about a particularly crucial moment in your career. And that was when you created the first AMI module using cellular technology for ABB electronic meters. Can you explain why this technology was important for managing energy and how it led to the start of Easymetering?
Yeah, it is. It is the second event very important in my life, because with this event, I defined my story in the metering industry, in the utilities industry. Because, but I would like to say that now the ABB meter is Honeywell. Is Honeywell the owner of this technology, because ABB meter was acquired by Elster, and Elster electricity company was acquired by Honeywell now. And it is very interesting because ABB is a big company, but in 2003, the local utility in Guayaquil, Ecuador, decided to start an interesting project in order to monitor around 3,000 of industries, big customers. And it is the reason why I created this device in order to connect the ABB meter. And it is a fascinating story because Elster Electricity in those days, they were the owner of the ABB meter, and they called me and they liked what I was doing, and because I was providing value to the meters, because the meters, they have a problems. They are hacked by customers in order to, to the reading go down, and utilities, they have energy losses and economical losses, of course. But it is a very interesting project that started in Ecuador, in Guayaquil again. Ecuador in 90s, we have a very, very great stories in digital industries, in software and telecommunication was a very great. And I think that is very good part of my life, of course. This is the reason why I started and I created this technology, and it provides, of course, monitoring for customers and try to avoid losses in energy for utility in Ecuador. Yeah.
So now let's turn back to Easymetering and go back to your current company for a little bit. And, we've talked a little about how Easymetering aims to contribute to the energy sector and climate change by focusing on advanced metering technology. For those of our listeners who may not be familiar with it, can you explain a little bit about how this technology works and its role in optimizing energy consumption, as well as reducing carbon emissions, as well as the benefits it provides for consumers and energy providers?
Lisa, this question is very special question because it's part of the mission and vision of my company, of course. And I think that I would like to explain, of course, what means AMI of advanced metering infrastructure. This is the technology used by electric utilities in order to get and read the meter data, a meter of gas, electricity, water, and AMI infrastructure includes smart meters, telecom infrastructure in order to transmit the data from this telecom infrastructure, computer centers, and advanced marine software. This is the technology that used utilities. It's a complex solution in order to read meters. But it is very important. But I would like to tell you that we have a big challenge. It is a big challenge for humanity. 2050 is the deadline for humanity that we have for decarbonization. We need to neutralize the carbon emission. It is a very big challenge that we have right now. And we need to start that, how to do the decarbonization. And the electric utilities, they play a very important role in this decarbonization process because they are the major provider of energy in the world. And but another interesting thing is that it's necessary to have to understand which kind of energy consumed is clean or not. It is important data and it's important information. Now we can know clean energy generated. What is the generated is clean and what is not clean, because it's very easy to measure in the generation process. But in the consumption process, in the end users, it's not easy. And it is so important to understand that the unique device in order to convert the energy consumed to data is the meter, is the smart meter. And when you are talking about a smart energy, it's not possible to achieve to have a smart energy. And government, they are looking for create policies, rules, and all kind of tools in order to go to a smart energy. But it's not possible to do that if we don't have smart meters. And it is another big problem in the world, because in United States, we have 150 million of meters around, but only 69% of them, they are smart. And the rest, they are not smart. They are traditional meters. They are inclusive mechanical meters. And it is not possible to digitalize and modernize the electric utilities business if we don't have digital information of energy. Lisa, that before to provide decarbonization and neutralize the carbon emission technology of Easymetering, we are trying to change this scenario, because it's more the first step that we need to achieve is to have smart meters, everywhere, not exactly. And it is the reason why this is the mission of Easymetering company. We are an accelerator of a smart meter technology adoption. This is the interesting thing. This is the reason why we provide meters connected around the world. Utilities they can install, they don't need to acquire infrastructure. For example, utilities in Africa or in many places where cellular data companies are available, we can transmit this information to the cloud, and utilities they can digitalize very easy, very fast. And our competitors they need to sell telecom infrastructure. This is the log that the vendors are putting to the electric utilities right now. And it is a problem because they are doing business. They very well, because they invented this technology 20 years before. But for economies, no, it's a not good thing that is occurring, because we need to unlock the industry. How to do that?
It's kind of set in its ways, it sounds like, and change is always difficult.
But this is the good news, that the government, in United States government, it is very interesting regulation, because with the new regulation, utilities, they can acquire cellular infrastructure. This is a standard and open technology. And with this technology, we can unlock the industry. And now utilities will have more innovation. And talking about innovation and how Easymetering is providing, or in the future, we contribute in the decarbonization process. Our idea is to have new meters, new smart meters, behind the current meter that you have in your home. In your home, you will have a new meters in your appliance, for example. We are working in a very interesting project in Chile. The regulation in Chile is very interesting because they are trying to incentive the use of clean energy for heating systems. It is very, very, very important because the thermal energy is expensive, but this kind of technology is not clean, of course. And the regulation is very important in this case, because now we are providing a smart plug technology for heating systems in Chile, in order that utilities they can to have another cheaper rate of electricity only for heating system, in order to replace the heating system that use gas or another or firewoods. This is the idea behind of this, is that we need to create new business model in the energy. Not only up to the meter, but behind the meter is very important. Inside in the house, it's very important to create new ways in order to buy and sell energy, because we need to create a new market in order to compete clean energy with carbon energy resources.
And that's a huge market, obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. And that leads me to ask, like I said, it's a huge undertaking that your company has. So what are your aspirations for Easymetering going forward, as well as for the broader energy sector?
Okay, my aspiration in terms of business is we want to have a very good participation in the global market. I think that Easymetering has the capability, has the ADN in order to contribute with all this movement in order to be a better decarbonization process. Yeah, but in terms of in economic terms, I think that Easymetering has the potential, and we would like to have a very good participation in the market, of course. But we want to not only to get money to make money, but also we want to contribute with this disruption. I think that this is a disruption in the economy, in the energy economy, and inclusive in the economy of utilities, of course. Mm-hmm.
Now, Byron, I want to turn back to Hispanic Heritage Month because this is a time to celebrate achievements and contributions. Are there any Hispanic entrepreneurs or innovators that have inspired you? And if so, how have they influenced your incredible journey to this point?
As I mentioned before, I was on a very great opportunity to work in a startup company in Ecuador. When you are in a startup, you have another benefits compared with big working for big companies.
You wear many hats in a startup.
Yeah, because when you are in a startup, you have opportunity to understand and to learn more, and you have opportunity to grow in personal and professional terms. Yeah, and for me, I think that this startup was a very good example to follow, and the founders of this startup, they are a very good inspiration for me too. But more than this startup, I think that the cellular data technology, the first generation, itself was my principal inspiration, because I think that I understood that cellular technology will change the world, and I want to be part of this of this movement, of this wave, because cellular changing the life of the humanity. Of course.
It really has. And if you think about, we're all walking around with iPhones now, and everything that we're capable of doing anywhere, it's actually been incredible. So if you're able to do that for energy, that would be, the impact would be tremendous.
Exactly, absolutely. Yeah. Now, wow, it's in this day only era possible. Was possible to make calls and send source messages, but now we have a revolution of humanity and culture, and we have a new philosophy. Yeah. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting journey that you've had and all that you've been able to experience. And given that, as the podcast comes to a close, I wanted to ask you, Byron, what advice would you give to aspiring Hispanic entrepreneurs and innovators who are looking to make an impact?
I think that I think the most important thing is the mentality. Yeah, I think that for people with my own heritage, I think that I recommend and suggest that they be honest and work with passion, be creative. And the most important for me is when I am creating technology, when I am creating product, I am thinking not in a culture, a specific culture. I am thinking in humanity. I think that is very important, because when you think in humanity, you have very big challenge, and you have very big problems, and you will have a very great solutions and opportunities to achieve and to overcome this challenge.
Well, Byron, I can't thank you enough for being on the podcast today, for sharing your incredible journey as well as all your insights. This has been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. Thank you. It was a very pleasure to be with you, sharing my story. I hope that it contributed with your audience and your program. Thank you so much, Lisa.
As we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, we're reminded of the incredible contributions made by Hispanic entrepreneurs like Byron in shaping a better world. We're grateful to Byron for sharing his journey and insights with us today. And to our listeners, please stay tuned for more inspiring stories in our Hispanic Heritage Month series here on Autumn on the Air.
Thanks for listening to Autumn on the Air with Lisa Mueller. Get social with us and share your thoughts. You can tweet us at AUTM or visit us online at AUTM.net. We'll be back next week on the air. Be sure to join us.